We're getting ready to start the 2025 NFL season. We're still looking at practice clips. We'll do this throughout the year. Today, we're looking at the Washington Commanders. We got a couple new clips on Bill Kroski-Merritt. We're going to watch him work through some drills, catch some balls, and everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at practice. And we'll be looking at what your players are doing behind the scenes as clips come out, even though it's slower throughout the season. It's going to help you with fantasy football too because you're going to see those players come back from injury, those guys on new teams, guys ramping up the depth chart. You'll be able to see and hear the news as these guys get new opportunities. Click that button. Stop missing out. Today, we're looking at Bill Kroski-Merritt, Jacory Croskey-Merritt, and he changed his number, got like 3 new clips. On top of that, we'll be looking at the training camp clips with it. That way we have something to look at. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. That's just how we do it. That's just how we've been doing it for years. Watch his feet. There he goes. Light on his feet. Moves well. This one's a little bit older, but I caught it. So there we go. There he is. This one came out just the other day. And you got to understand, they got some of the other running backs in there. You see Rodriguez there. Who is your RB1 is what they're trying to get you to lock into. There's McNichols. Can't wait to see week 1, see the reps, see the numbers, the snaps, touches, targets, opportunities for these running backs. Bill Kroski-Merritt in the 22. Letting you know it's recent because prior it was 32. And you'll see that change here in the next few clips coming up. There he is. He's been killing it. He's been killing it. Before he was popular, he's been killing it. He's been killing it. Training camp, OTAs, mini camp, rookie camp. There he is. Getting that air. Getting that air. Brian Robinson Jr. gone. We got Austin Eckler there. He's going to be getting some workload. On top of that, McNichols. Rodriguez has looked good in preseason. This is a running back prospect that has just been climbing the ranks throughout the offseason. There he is. Watch how shifty he is. And you'll see that with his vision and feet. You can't have vision without feet. You can't have feet without vision. Those two have to come together. Good contact balance, but he's very shifty. And he's got a good approach to the line of scrimmage. That's one thing you will know about him as you watch him as a Commander here, especially this year. He's going to get work. He's going to get opportunities. I just want to see how much. I think they might unleash him a bit. I think they might unleash him a bit early. It's rare you see a prospect like this just climb the rankings, this low draft capital, and do it so quick. And it's not just climbing the depth chart and training camp. It was like OTAs, minicamp. Like you were hearing it left and right from the beat reporters. Left and right. Like they had other things to cover. Terry McLaurin for sure. Jay Daniels year 2. Debo's first year with the team. They have all kinds of storylines on this team. And like it was like every day, every other day. There's a tweet. There's an article. There's clips. Jacory Croskey-Merritt. At the same time, I'm going back to minicamp OTAs. You're pulling teeth trying to find clips of Jaden Blue. Like there has to be like weird rumors coming out of Jaden Blue on the Dallas Cowboys. And other players like that drafted around his area. Ollie Gordon during that time, you weren't hearing anything really about him. You caught some clips. You heard a little bit this, but nothing to the extent of Jacory Croskey-Merritt as he was killing it in camp. His feet, his ability to move laterally, on top of the patience and vision. That is the thing about his game. His feet in a second level, once he gets it past the line of scrimmage through the hole, he will make guys miss. This is a running back prospect. Remember, he didn't really play last year. He didn't really play. Then we get to the Shrine game, looking good in practices, we win the award there. He's fresh. He's fresh too. He's not banged up after a whole season. And you go back and look through his tape throughout the years, you can understand why. Like, he's excelling. Good vision, his feet, like I've been saying. He's good all phases. He's good up the gut. Now, fantasy football-wise, I know that's what you guys are looking at here when you're coming to one of my videos, especially the clip videos, because I'll talk about the player, talk about how They're rising historically throughout the practices, draft capital, how everybody's looking, all that stuff. I hope you drafted him a few weeks ago when he was going round 16, round 15. There was just light rumors before he jumped the shark. Now he's getting to the point there's risk. Like, sometimes you'll catch a screenshot and he's going like 5th, 4th round. So a lot of times later than that, ADP is lighter than that on Underdog, but sometimes you'll catch a screenshot. I study screenshots, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because ADP is not real anymore right now, especially right now on this holiday weekend. It's just not real. Just you'll be in home league drafts and picks will jump the shark, and you'll be like, well, they're home league drafters, this, that, and you think, not in my league, pal, and all that. I've been in some pretty competitive leagues. One thing to note, when it is a very competitive league, it's kind of like a stalemate and people are scared to make moves type deal. So you kind of get like, it's kind of like it on both sides of that spectrum. You kind of want something kind of middle of that when it's competitive. Really depends on the batch of guys, who you're playing with, yada, yada, yada. I've just been in a lot of them. And the thing about Jacory Croskey-Merritt, I hope you got him cheap. We did that first You Need video. We did that second. We've done so many of these videos going over the clips. I hope you got him cheap. Now, when you look at his prospect profile, you look at the Washington Commanders, you look at Jane Daniels going into year 2, how explosive and how this team can move the football. You look at Austin Eckler, you look at his age, recent injuries. You look at McNichols versus him. You look at Rodriguez versus him. You can definitely see him getting the bulk of the touches after what we've seen during training camp, preseason, and everything else. His usage in preseason. You can definitely say, like, you can definitely pony up to do that. But I'm saying, like, compared to 3 weeks ago, the risk has quadrupled. So that's something to pay attention to. As we're excited talking him up, a lot of us are excited because we got him free. We jumped in and we got him. A lot of you guys picked him up off waivers. Some of you will comment that below. What I said during that time, because I had to do a second You Need video on Jacory Croskey-Merritt, is once he gets to that range where he's flirting with some of those bottom tier RB1s, those top tier RB2s, that's when the risk is going to jump the shark, and I would like him a little bit cheaper. I think he can outperform that. It's different. But we're talking about drafts. We're talking about draft boards. We're talking about opportunity costs. Also in that range. We got some good wide receivers still. There's a lot to look at there. You have to play that all in. I think he's going to get the work. I think he's going to get the touches. Now, also, if you want to make that gamble and you're going to make that bet, I ain't going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. Now, if you drafted Jaden Blue there, I'd stop you. I'd tell you, what are you doing? I'd make fun of you. If you're my buddy, I saw that. Like, you crazy, man? I'd do that. Now, that's the difference. That's the difference. Like, if you drafted Ollie Gordon in that range, I'd stop you. I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you stop your friend when he's bringing home the wrong girl from the bar. Like, no, give me your keys. Give me your keys. I wouldn't on this. I wouldn't. That's the thing about this. And that's part of fantasy. The one thing about fantasy football is if you draft accordingly to ADP, to the average, to what you're supposed to do, especially once you get to a certain part of the draft, you're trying to just compete, not dominate, and then you're trying to get luck into the picture, where once your structure is built, like your starting running backs, foundation on wide receivers, all that, you're starting to get to the point of the draft where it's kind of ho-hum, where you're unlikely to find that guy to set you apart, especially when you're playing game-by-game matchup to matchup with the waiver wire and all that stuff. And there just comes a point where you just got to start taking more shots at upside. Upside over everything once you get to those middle rounds and later rounds, especially double-digit rounds. And there just comes a point where you got to have some upside in the right spot on your team, and if that hits, it's game over. You're winning the money easy. That's the thing about that. And if it doesn't hit, it flops. Let's say he's on the field and he's just ho-hum. Guess what? In that position there, those veterans that were safer, they ain't going to be too far off one way or another. They're just not. Or let's just say, like, he gets hurt or doesn't live up to the expectations. You play the waiver wire. And with the veterans that are safe, probably a good bit of them too, you're playing the waiver wire after a few weeks because you're disappointed in their play. That's the thing about this game. But if you cash in on that upside, I'm not talking every single pick once you get out of, and it's subjective to how your team is built. So there's no exact round. It could be round 10 for you, 11, 12. It could be sooner because there's a player you like, and then you take some stability, a veteran player, round 10, round 12, you take a couple of those, back to lottery tickets, back to upside, trying to grasp at straws. Upside's huge. Upside's huge. I would not stop you if you drafted him earlier. That's the thing. You do have to account the risk is immense now. It is immense. Glory to you, though, if you got him round 16, 17, 18 a few weeks ago, 15, 14, 13, waiver wire, as we sounded alarm. Nonetheless, even if he scores 0 points, you picked up an asset that gained value. That just gained value. That means nothing in win total right now on August 30th. That means absolutely nothing. However, it gained value to your team. Your team gained value by that pickup, by that last draft pick. You drafted 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th rounder, 4th, 5th, depending on who likes them, with a 16th round pick. That's what you did. And I use that big range because it's all over the place right now. It's all over the place right now. The thing about this year's draft and this year's year in fantasy football, you're going to catch a lot of Jacory Croskey-Merritts once injuries start to hit in the double-digit rounds. You cannot peg which ones, but you got a lot of good prospects. A lot of them. You need to have a good lottery ticket or two on the back end of your bench. You need to have a couple of those rookies and second-year players. The second-year players are a little bit safer. You kind of know a little bit more about them. Trey Benson, Ray Davis. So if Cook or Connor goes down, you're kind of good. You know what you're getting. You know you're getting a good prospect. Braylon Allen, if Breece Hall goes down, he's been running hot. He's been looking good in camp. He's been getting a lot of good buzz. And then if you're looking at the rookies, there's just a lot. We had about 20 good prospect profiles in this year's class at the running back position. Last year, 5 to 8. Subjective. I mean, the first running back off the board only had one ACL. You put Jacory Croskey-Merritt in there, he's getting drafted a little higher. He's getting drafted higher. The one thing is teams are very fickle about little things, and him missing all those games last year, fickle about something like that. So there might not have been a drastic change, but you look at the tape and everything else, and now you may argue that, and you'll be like, well, he's better than it is. But you look at the teams and what they historically do when there's they do things that they can't get past certain things in a prospect's profile. A lot of these teams, not all of them, and he would be drafted higher. And I agree that he is better than a lot of those backs that we're not naming right now that we're talking about. But I do agree. But some of these teams don't look past. Some of those things that we're talking about. Jacory Croskey-Merritt, though. Good prospect. I can't wait to see what's happening this year. I bet you he gets his moment. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.